want to show you, basically, I spent the better part of my day out in Henderson, North Carolina, where the young man Javion Magee was found in between two trees. Now, if you see those trees right there that I put on the thumbnail, those are the two small trees that the gentleman was found beside or found laying close to. So I visited the town today. Spoke with several people. I actually went to the site of the truck yard where he was found, and I went to the sheriff office and obtained the police report, which I'm going to share in a later video. This is the police report, the incident report from Mr. And I actually haven't looked at it yet. Okay, wow. So yeah, we're going to share some of this later on. But I also went to the Walmart, both Walmarts, where he supposedly bought the rope. But also I went to the Walmart, where the Walmart distribution center, where he reportedly dropped his load off. And I spoke to several people. I got a little mixed reactions. Some people did want to talk, but they didn't want to talk on camera. But I'm going to share the pictures and the words of those who did want to talk on camera. But also some people didn't want to talk at all. Most importantly, the owner of the T&R trailer shop. When I went in and told them, who I was and, what I was there to talk about, one lady said, okay, well, I'm not the owner. So then she handed my card to the owner. The owner came out of the office and she gave me my card back and said, look, okay, we're not talking to anybody. So I was like, okay. And, the owner of that place was a Caucasian lady. But the majority of the people I talked to, they did want me to know that they did want people to know that Henderson, North Carolina is not a sundown town. That's the narrative that people wanted me. What's going on, France? That's the narrative that people wanted me to convey to the people, that Henderson, North Carolina is not a sundown town. I spoke with a black attorney as well as a black bail bondsman and a black man who worked at the yard beside the yard that Mr. Magee was found. And also I spoke with a sheriff deputy. So I spoke with various members of the community. One man, but one man basically, there were varying opinions. It's almost that in some ways they were sort of delusional, or what they say, appreciate you, white boy. It was sort of like cognitive dissonance, meaning they didn't want to believe that something could happen in that town. One man was like, man, how crazy you think, some white people would be crazy enough to do that? How much we'll turn up. And they mentioned the young brothers out on the streets pretty much shooting and killing themselves. Now, Spanish for Trump, what else up? If I hear exhibit one more time, I'm telling you. But and make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel too while y'all watching. But they they didn't want to admit that their town, something like this could happen in their town. So that was very disturbing. But a lot of people did admit that something is behind what happened. They didn't subscribe to, Mr. Javion Magee drove all the way from Bellwood, Illinois, dropped this load off, dropped this trailer in that part that you're going to see later, went to Walmart, bought a rope, went to a smoke shop, went to a hotel, then went and sat at the base of a tree, tied a rope around his neck in a knot, and strangled himself because he was not hung contrary to popular opinion in the articles. The rope was found tied around his neck. One article from the family spokesperson stated that he did have a broken neck. And so, appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe and the share button, please. But they did have a broken neck. So the question many people want to know is, how did his neck get broke? One brother tried to tell me that, you never know what somebody is going through. I tried to commit suicide before as well, but I clearly showed him those two trees that the brother was slung up against. And I'm gonna actually show these to y'all now. But they are on the thumbnail. So these are the two trees that he was found slumped by. Now, the one on the left is where his back was to, and his feet was in between. And where was his white bags from the shop? Okay, so let's look at that, because that's what the possessions say on this. Okay, appreciate you, Crime Podcast, because now it does say he was found with several possessions, and one is a white plastic bag. Now, and I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this right now. He was found with a white plastic bag. He was found with unopened color sheet wraps, Ozark Trail, a receipt, wallet with IDs, clothes and furs. He had a ligature. Okay, so these are, I guess, other, so because they mentioned a sexual assault clip, fingernail clippings, blood cards. So what I guess they are, giving him all of those tests. So I got to take a chance, and I haven't, I haven't looked at that report, but I'm going to give you all an update on the report. But, it seems strange that, a man can be found in that manner, and it will be, the sheriff said he didn't have any, but the sheriff said, I think he didn't have any ID, but this clearly says a wallet with IDs. So there you have, once again, conflicting stories. And so I read that too. They say he was found with no identification and no wallet. But this investigation report from the Vance County, and I'm glad you brought that up, because this investigation report right here shows that he has, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'll show you guys later. But yeah, it shows that he had his wallet. So that's another, and I saw it. I saw it, man. You might, a Crime Podcast, get in touch with me, man. My number is 919-587-7782. Because I was down there, and I didn't get the presence of, people running around trying to figure out what happened. Most of the people I talked to were kind of quiet-lipped. It was almost like, at one point, I was asking the directions to the Underground Railroad. When I first walked into the first shop, and because I was afraid, and not afraid, but I was skeptical of talking to, Caucasian people about it. So I walked up to the brother in the shop, like, yeah, man, what's going on, man? You from here? Yeah. I said, I'm here, man. Like, what you hear about the, I just wrote your number down before seeing you live. Appreciate it. Yeah, give me to about 9 o'clock, man. I got a meeting to go to. But I asked him, I said, man, what you know about that? He looked at me like, don't you go around starting no troubles. Like he gave me that kind of look. And then, he just walked to the back. Then I had to ask the lady. So there were a lot of people who were when I asked about it, they kind of appreciate you. They kind of looked around like that, and made it seem like they didn't want to talk. So, but the people who did talk, they shared some things, and I'm going to share some things with you a little bit later on. I got a meeting to go to at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and I think it's 7 o'clock now. But I did want to just come on and tell y'all to make sure y'all tune in later, probably tomorrow. I'm going to show you the interviews of about 5 or 6 people. I'm going to show you the scene in an in-depth nature. I'm going to show you some evidence that was left at the scene. Apparently, they didn't do a really good job of combing the area. Once again, they didn't rule it a suicide. So what else could it be but a murder? Most people think that something happened to him elsewhere, and then he was placed there. So I got a lot of information to share with you guys. So y'all make sure y'all, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the share button, and get this information out, because a lot of people around the world, around the nation, wonder what happened in this instance. A couple of comments from the last video when we first not broke the story. It was broke already, but we covered the story. Says Walmart needs to release the footage of him purchasing items in Walmart and the video during his reset in the Walmart parking lot. I actually saw briefly news clip on REOL, but you are right. They haven't followed up on the situation. I still remember as late as mid-90s when Klan would still do parade downtown Wilson, Johnston, and Pitt County. So terrible with all the advances in technology, medicine, and multiracial couples in the USA that he may be still possible dealing with this level of hatred. That's why I pray that the minority youth group stop the violence against each other, unify for truth and justice. And that's from my man 32 D Smitty. So appreciate you. So that is a sentiment. Once again, like, people think that just because you don't see it, like I said, in late 90s, which seems like a long time ago, but it's only 30 years ago, that they were still having Klan rallies here in Goldsboro, North Carolina, the southeastern part of the state, which Henderson is not too far from. And so, many people were saying, this couldn't happen there, but people also gave me some information, which, you're going to see. You're going to watch the videos. I don't want to give y'all all the information right now, but one person says the North Carolina Department of Law Enforcement needs to get involved with this. Federal government needs to get involved with this. Individuals in the United States are tired of watching, and it's time for doing. Now, once again, this is something that has been going on in Kinston too. Kinston, all of these towns have a history of that. Just send this video to my contacts. This incident must be shared so that the public can be aware of the wickedness. I'm not living under any delusion. Since 1700, people of color have been hunted and slain. The South hides those sheets, but under the law, they wear them proudly. The federal highway system is run by those sheets with the badge, and guess what? These killings remain unstopped. Some people say there's even a pipeline between like 85 South all the way from Pennsylvania, where these things happen. Someone also said you should make a request for a copy of the 911 call through the Freedom of Information Act. That will give some information. Also, the COVID excuse they gave her for not seeing his body was BS. If for me, I wouldn't allow them to do the autopsy until I saw his body first. Just my suggestions. So basically, once again, they didn't let the family see the body for a while, and I'm not sure that they have seen the body. One lady I actually talked to who came on the scene had actually reached out to the father, and they have a little mural out there. They're putting on one of the trees. It's not the tree that the young man died under. I would say I would say he was murdered. I wouldn't say that he did that on his own. So this is just the precursor. I just wanted to come on because it was I spent about 4 or 5 hours in the town of Henderson today, running around, and I just kind of got the feeling that people know that something wrong happened, but they just don't want to admit that it could happen in their town. That there's something like this, and maybe it didn't happen in their town. Maybe it happened somewhere else. We don't know, and he was placed there. But I definitely think that whatever happened to him concerning the footage and the videos, Buster. I appreciate y'all concerning the footage and the videos that I'm going to show you later, and I'm going to break down those videos and see how we'll show you how some of the people are definitely are not willing to admit what possibly could have happened. But y'all check me out, man. Like, share, and subscribe to the video if y'all have any information or you just want to connect directly. 919-587-7782. Peace and love. Thank y'all for tuning in. Remember to share and subscribe. And stay tuned, man. I think I'm going to put that up tomorrow. I just got to get all of the videos and all the pictures and everything put together. But I did just want to come up real quick because this is something that should not go away. But when I was down there, I didn't see a sense of outrage. Like, I didn't see a show of force. So, a lot of people, like I said, I got some conflicting stories like, yeah, something was wrong, but, nah, Henderson is not like that. I got those two different sides. So, yeah, something is definitely wrong with, I don't know, I can't believe somebody did that. Henderson is like that. So we have both of those sides. So I don't think when people live in a place, they don't want to ruffle feathers. Of course, I don't live there. I don't have to live there, so I can come in and ask questions and then, continue on about my life. But we're going to dig into this. Once again, I appreciate y'all. What's going on from Canada, man? I appreciate y'all, everybody. Subscribe to the channel. But, man, I appreciate y'all for real. Ninth Ward, okay. All right, man, I thank all of y'all for tuning in, man. I'm about to get to this meeting. Goldsboro City Council meeting. That's another whole different story of what's going on in this small town. But I appreciate y'all for watching, man. Y'all stay tuned. Peace and love.